giants
People who came from the
in
sky.
the sky. Yeah.
My bad. Forgot to do the music. What up, Kobe?
What up, bro? How you been? I got it.
Man, I'm good. Hey, Timberwolves win. Let's throw it on there. Timberwolves win, baby.
Man, what a crazy game. We were gonna go on at 7:30 because I just felt like whatever Wolves are on, like, and then it got kind of crazy. There was a fight. People got ejected. Like people getting choked out, and so bro was like, "Do you push it back?" And I was like, honestly, hell yeah, let's push it back. So shout out to the Wolves, man. Whooping up on Detroit.
Yeah.
They're talking all that shit, man.
Talking crazy. They're talking crazy. I don't know what they said on the court, man, but I know they're talking crazy because like you can see some of the facial reactions from the players. You know what I'm saying? They just like
something wrong with Isaiah Stewart on Detroit. I'm saying it. Something wrong with Mike. He be doing too much, bro.
Is that the one that LeBron like?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with that man.
LeBron made him leak one time, and then he was trying to get at it. But anyways, don't care. We had some key players ejected, and they're gonna face some penalties and some fines. And Kobe, you think they're gonna be suspended for a few games? But
I don't think so. I think that's on the refs to be real with y'all, man. They should have got a control of Isaiah Stewart and Detroit long before then. They were pushing and shoving, and they showed it on our end. Some of the stuff that led up to all that. So, and then when old boy fouled Nas Reed, Dante was trying to get in between them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a common foul. It was a common foul, but I guess they had kind of been going back.
Something happened before,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, that we didn't see. Maybe.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. But
I'm glad we whooped their ass, man.
So what do you think? What do you think about? How you think DiVincenzo? You know what I'm talking about. How do you feel about how he jumped in like that?
I liked it. He was tired of them pushing him around. So he said, "Man, forget all that." You could tell he said, "Forget all that."
Hey, bro.
And then shoved the shit out of him in the crowd. And I'm glad we beat their ass, man.
Hey, bro, what I text you? What text?
He said, "Divvy the goon." Detroit had no business in that game. They didn't have the best players. And so belt the ass. Get on out of here.
Yeah. Go get it. And Detroit, look, guys, shout out to Detroit because they did what they did.
They've been playing good. I mean, they beat Cleveland. They've been playing pretty good the past few games.
Yeah.
So,
like I said,
Detroit.
And they didn't have their two best players in there and nothing like that. So good on them. Good on them.
What up, chat? Not to see y'all in here. I see you, Nate. I see you, Shell.
Chat popping?
Yep. Yeah. So tonight we're doing it's weird. It's a weird story to me. It's not like horror to me. It's not like terrifying to me. It's just weird. We're not jumping in the religious stuff tonight, y'all. We're gonna take a break from that. We're just doing weird and freaky. And bro, that thing I sent you, did you put that on cap or no cap? That picture I sent you?
No, that's gonna go on next week.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna go on next week. We got some stuff popping this week or whatever. It's good stuff, but that's probably one of the strangest things that I've ever seen. So you know what I'm saying? So we're definitely gonna have to get to it to address that. Let's see, Nathan White said, Warriors sleep. They're like, what up with that? Yeah. So Wolves won, man. And usually I got some sleeves on, but hey, I got my Hey, guns out, baby. Guns out. I'm in the weight room with Kobe. Kobe in there too. I know he got him.
I didn't read it right for a minute. I was like, wait, what? Okay.
Hey, Kobe's flannel popping though. That's real. That's real.
It's cold, man. It's snowed up here today. So.
Oh, damn, I didn't know that, man. Shit, get the F out of there, bro. Move down here.
Oh,
Anyways,
anyway,
let's get to the video.
Right. So this is Tails Tape, the weird story.
All the way, bro.
It's a story I think it's in the UK.
It's the UK.
That's
my boy, you guys. We found it super interesting. By the way,
Yeah.
I'm a little litty. Can we drink a wine during the Wolves game?
I'm gonna be smoking a little bit, so we're gonna go ahead and get this one going.
Gonna be a great show.
I have a lot of tabs open. Jeez, I did my taxes. I need to get the
You did your taxes? You did your taxes?
We have a guy who did it for us. Yeah, and
dope.
It was nice.
Y'all get your taxes done, babe. Please get our taxes. I know we're gonna owe, but get them done.
Yeah.
Please.
So this is the YouTube channel Tails Tapes, and this is the story. It's called "The Disturbing True Horror of the Hexam Heads." So let's get it popping.
Let's get it.
It was 2 a.m. one night in the early 1970s when Dr. Anne Ross was suddenly awoken by a cold chill running through her body.
All day, every day.
The room was unusually freezing. Anne lay there in the darkness,
I am a woodsman,
aware that something was wrong, but she wasn't sure what. Her husband lay soundly asleep next to her. Dr. Ross tried to get comfortable again to fall back asleep, but that's when she noticed the movement just out of the corner of her eye by the wardrobe. A shape, a figure. When she looked up properly, it was stood by their bedroom doorway. The dim light from the hallway illuminated the room just enough for her to get an idea of what she was looking at.
Y'all good?
Dr. Ross thought she must be dreaming still. This wasn't possible. It stood around 6 feet tall, with a slight hunch to its back. It was dark, almost shadow-like, but this was a very real and very tangible being. The bottom half looked very much like normal human legs, but its top half was like an animal. Later, Dr. Ross would describe it almost akin to a wolf, covered in dark black fur. Whatever it was, it seemed to become aware that Dr. Ross was looking at it. The creature slowly walked out of the room. Dr. Ross could hear it, creeping along the landing
Kobe's put wine in my jersey.
But, for reasons she could never really put into words, her first reaction was not to wake her husband.
This shit going to the
Instead, she calmly got out of bed and began to follow, silently walking behind the quiet padded sounds of its feet as it walked down the stairs. Disturbingly, Dr. Ross claimed that she didn't feel in control at that moment.
Okay.
She felt compelled to follow it, as though it were leading her somewhere. As she headed down the stairs, she got another look at it. From the position she was stood, she could see it now, shuffling down the hallway. This second glimpse of the creature was enough to snap her out of whatever trance she appeared to be in. The curiosity was gone, and now fear and adrenaline were racing through her body. She didn't know what she was seeing, but she knew it wasn't good. Dr. Ross raced upstairs, back to her bedroom, waking up her husband, archaeologist Richard Feacham. He didn't really believe what his wife had claimed to see, but concerned there was an intruder in the home where their children were sleeping. The pair searched the house from top to bottom. No sign of anyone, human or beast, could be found. It would be easy to chalk this up to a nightmare on the part of Dr. Ross. However, she may not have known it at the time, but she wasn't the first to be visited by this creature, and she wouldn't be the last.
Bro, I don't even know how to explain it. They're like these things they found that are stone heads.
So they're gonna get into it. but it's almost like shrunken heads, right?
They're like shrunken, but they're like, yeah, I guess they're shrunken heads, but they have this thing that like sticks with them. Kind of like Annabelle, honestly.
Okay. Random Rick said, "Thanks for clearing that up."
Ain't that much we can clear up for you. Like I don't know what these things are. They'll show them to you.
Yeah, they're gonna show them to you, and then also, guys. We try to get back to our base,
paranormal,
right?
spooky,
paranormal stuff like that. Yeah. So, and this is kind of one of the things that we were not familiar with, so we don't know a lot about it. But we're gonna learn about it together, I guess.
Yeah, it's out in like the Europe, UK area. So maybe that's why he's gonna get into like why Americans don't know much about it. So.
Dr. Ross was a well-respected expert in the field of Celtic studies. It wasn't unusual for her home to be filled with strange artifacts. But just 2 days prior to this incident, she had received a package that contained 2 objects. These 2 objects would go on to become the source of one of the most enduring paranormal mysteries of all time. Get yourself a warm drink, dim the lights and get comfortable. It's long overdue, but it's time we talk about one of the great paranormal tales. A story of haunted objects, pranksters, confused scholars, and even were-sheep. This is the horrifying story of the Hexam Heads. Welcome to the tape library. I'm curious before we get into this one.
You get the beverages. That's what they are. I don't know what that is. Like stone faces.
I'm new to it.
How many of you have heard of the Hexam Heads before? Let me know in the comments if you have or haven't.
Yeah, he said,
it feels like such a well-known paranormal case over here in the UK, but when I talk to American friends about it, they don't seem as familiar. This is one of those stories that's been on my list to get to since I pretty much started the channel, but I was pushed to do it now after an interesting little discovery was made back in October. In 1976 at 5:55 p.m, the BBC broadcasted an episode of its usual early evening current affairs show nationwide, but this particular episode would be burned into the imaginations of an entire generation. Tonight's show spoke about a discovery 2 schoolboys had made of a pair of stone heads that were thought to be Celtic in origin, but ever since their discovery, anyone who interacted with the heads had fallen prey to strange phenomena. The episode came with interviews with several people involved, including Dr. Ann Ross, in stark contrast to normal paranormal fare, seeing a respected history scholar talking about strange goings-on in the night and werewolves gave a certain degree of weight to the tale. But it wasn't just the creepy story. The BBC show paired this with images of severed heads that were disturbingly graphic for a family show, plus a quick shot of Oliver Reed from Hammer's Curse of the Werewolf. It was all more than enough to give the kiddies plenty of nightmares.
Cool J, baby.
The footage from this segment has existed in the BBC archives ever since. However, the audio has always been missing, making this segment something of a lost holy grail for those fascinated by paranormal media.
It shows severed heads on the news.
Using an AI voice recognition software, the audio for the second half has been recovered. The BBC released the segment as a Halloween treat on YouTube, and for the first time in decades, people were able to hear Dr. Ross's first-hand account of what she saw in her home that night. Much like my recent episode on the Dybbuk the story of the Hexam Heads is a confusing blend of fiction and reality.
Look closer.
Look closer. We'll make your iPhone. Yeah. He was selling a little bit too hard.
This community
not helped by the fact that these stories all center around events that took place over a relatively short period of time, over 50 years ago.
Anybody else in the chat?
Details have been twisted, misremembered, disputed, leaving the true tale of the Hexam Heads a slightly confusing mess. But I've tried my best here to lay it out as close to what apparently happened as possible. Let's begin with the discovery, an event that in itself might be one of the most highly contested events that took place. Hexam is a small market town in Northumberland, up in the north of England. While it is, of course, a place with a long, deep history, as is the case with most towns in England, in the 1970s, there wasn't really anything remarkable about Hexam. This wasn't a place you expected to be digging up haunted artifacts in any case. 11-year-old Colin Robson was at junior school, sat in a classroom creating a small piece of artwork for a competition. It was a head, crafted out of plaster of Paris. A head that was described as ugly by his headmaster and downright scary by others. Despite this, it won second place in his school's competition. Why Colin chose to make the head, he couldn't say. It just popped into his mind when he was trying to think of something to make. In of itself, there's nothing strange about this incident. The timeline here instantly becomes a little confusing, but in either late 1971 or early 1972, Colin had returned home from school with his brother, Leslie. The pair were bored, to say the least. No one else from their family was home yet. Their mother and father both still at work. And what else would two young boys do to pass the time before their family returned home? They, of course, decided to dig holes, heading out into the garden to do so. Initially, they were being helpful, pulling out weeds and tidying up. But soon it descended into just digging a hole together, down deeper and deeper into the soil. When they reached around 2 foot deep, Colin shouted out that something was there. He reached into the dirt and pulled out a rounded object, about the size and weight of a cricket ball. He brushed the soil off of it and shouted again to his brother that he had found a head. There, in Colin's hand, was a small stone head, not too dissimilar from the one he had crafted in school some time earlier that year. Leslie was somewhat jealous of his brother's.
They made a thing that looked like this head they found in the dirt. But I don't know if that kid actually made that or if he found it somewhere.
Yeah, we have no idea. I have no idea.
Miraculous find, and the pair continued to dig to see if they could find anything else. Sure enough, just 6 inches further down, they pulled out another head. Both heads were a little different from one another, but both had a bit of weight to them and appeared to be very old. Later in this tale, a materials chemist named Dr. Don Robbins would describe them as being different sexes. The first head had a skull-like appearance to it, masculine in features.
When the hell y'all gonna warm up? Like, I am looking at it now. You got a thermal, and you got a hat. How many other layers do you have, bro? Like, when y'all gonna warm up there?
A thermal on the hat. What do you, a flannel on the hat?
Yeah, you got flannel on the hat.
It was warm. Shit. 2 days ago, 70 degrees.
I need y'all to do better. You said it snowed?
Snowed today, yeah.
Oh, golly. What the temperature out there right now?
Like 34.
God damn, no thanks. All right. In April?
Yeah.
But gaunt and bony, with a traditionally Celtic hairstyle. The other was more feminine, more rounded and expressive in its features. Some have called them the man and the woman, but others refer to the female head as the hag. This is the one that many have described as giving off a negative energy.
Damn.
Below them were tendrils that struck out almost like a neck, but these were later sawn off during studies of the objects. With their parents out still, the two boys instead rushed to their next door neighbour. There, Nellie Dodd, the mother of the Dodd family, invited the boys inside, and the three of them took a look at their strange discovery. She didn't quite know what to make of it, and suggested that the boys should take it to the nearby Hexam Abbey. Maybe they could tell the boys what these heads were. The boys phoned their mother at work, telling her they were going to be taking 2 old stone heads to the Abbey. You know, normal boy stuff. And they set off to get the answers they seeked. A priest at the Abbey offered to take the heads and try to find out more about them, telling the boys he would return them in a few days' time. And that was that. An exciting archaeological find by 2 young boys. And that's all it was, until Colin was awoken a few nights later by screaming.
Whoa.
Nellie Dodd lived next door with her husband Isaac and their 6 children. For a number of nights after first seeing the heads, Nellie's daughters, who shared a room, had been complaining about a strange sound. They described it as a sort of pitter-patter of feet that they could hear as they
Okay,
lay in their bed.
Oh, you said all them?
So, do they still have the heads, or they gave it to the Abbey?
I'm definitely not an expert on this one, but that's good boy.
At night. Nellie told them they were simply hearing soot falling down the chimney.
Story of our
The
lives.
night of the incident, 7-year-old Marie was terribly sick with an ear infection. It had taken Nellie some time to get her daughter to sleep, but once she did, she was confronted with her son Trevor, claiming that someone was touching his leg. Trevor shared a bedroom with his younger brother Brian. Nellie assumed this was just a case of the boys messing around and told them to go to sleep. Later, Brian would state that it wasn't just Trevor that felt something touch him. As he lay in his bed, he too experienced what felt like a hand touching his hair, despite there being no one else in the room.
Hell no.
Nellie went back to Marie's bedroom.
You not good with that?
But just before she did, she noticed the landing window was open, flapping in the wind. She was sure she had shut it. Nellie climbed into bed with her daughter, planning to sleep in there with her that night. Sometime in the early hours of the morning, Marie was awoken by a strange sound. She wasn't sure what it was at first, but she instantly knew something wasn't right. The scared little girl looked up. She quickly jabbed at her mother's side to wake her as well. Nellie opened her eyes and couldn't believe what she was seeing. There, standing in the room, was a large figure that she described as being part man and part beast. The lower half of it appeared to be human, but its head almost looked like...
So what the... Okay, so who's got the heads? I'm confused. So who had to do they have the heads?
I think we need to play it back. I don't understand why it would be affecting them.
Yeah, like who had them in their presence? I don't... Can I listen to this in the gym? And I'm trying to figure out what it is. They talk the
third
shit.
time I listen to it, I still don't get why.
Boy,
oh, the beast next door. So it was next door to the kids who found
it. Hey, y'all, keep talking shit in the comments. I love it.
Nellie Dodd lived next door with her husband Isaac and their 6 children. For a number of nights...
Yeah, so they lived next door to the kids who found that head.
After first seeing the heads, Nellie's daughters, who shared a room, had been complaining. Told them they were simply hearing soot fall. Nellie's daughters, who shared a room. Nellie Dodd lived next door with her husband Isaac and their 6 children. For a number of nights after first seeing the heads, Nellie's daughters, who shared a room, had been complaining about a strange sound.
You know,
they described it as a sort of...
I'll play it. The boys brought those heads over to the neighbor's house. Remember? But when they found the head, they brought it over to the neighbor's house.
Mm-hmm.
And then and she saw that, Lily saw that, or whatever her name is, the woman of the mother of the 6 daughters. She saw the heads. So after seeing the heads, this is what's going on. Okay, I had to get that cleared up. I'm like, why would it affect them? I don't know.
Pitter patter of feet.
They're assholes.
I didn't even look at
the Lord.
Let's get it.
That they could hear as they lay in their beds at night. Nellie told them they were simply hearing soot falling down the chimney. The night of the incident, 7-year-old Marie was terribly sick with an ear infection. It had taken Nellie some time to get her daughter to sleep, but once she did, she was confronted with her son Trevor, claiming that someone was touching his leg. Trevor shared a bedroom with his younger brother Brian. Nellie assumed this was just a case of the boys messing around and told them to go to sleep. Later, Brian would state that it wasn't just Trevor that felt something touch him. As he lay in his bed, he too experienced what felt like a hand touching his hair, despite there being no one else in the room. Nellie went back to Marie's bedroom. But just before she did, she noticed the landing window was open, flapping in the wind. She was sure she had shut it. Nellie climbed into bed with her daughter, planning to sleep in there with her that night. Sometime in the early hours of the morning, Marie was awoken by a strange sound. She wasn't sure what it was at first, but she instantly knew something wasn't right. The scared little girl looked up. She quickly jabbed at her mother's side to wake her as well. Nellie opened her eyes and couldn't believe what she was seeing. There, standing in the room, was a large figure that she described as being part man and part beast. The lower half of it appeared to be human.
Where's sheep?
But its head almost looked like a sheep, and its feet were hooves. Nellie was immediately terrified, but in her half-awake state, she thought this must be...
Can we pause it real quick? Can you read that?
I guess I paused it.
Some kind.
Can you read that? Can you read that for us?
My grandma had a freaky carved head in a small room, the second floor of her 1870s home. She said it kept bad spirits away. She did have squirrels in the walls, and that scared the shit out of us. No bad spirits though.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. My grandma didn't play that. She didn't play with that scary stuff.
No, she avoided it like the plague, and one of the reasons why is because she could see all the things. She could see into the other realm.
Dream.
Is that how you would put it, Kobe?
Yeah, I agree.
That was until the creature reached out and touched her. The feel of its clawed hands on her leg was more than enough to snap Nellie.
I would have shot the hell out of that thing.
Violently awake, Nellie screamed, a scream so loud it awoke not just her husband, but the neighbors next door. The creature looked at Nellie and Marie momentarily, before turning and running down the stairs. Isaac Dodd came running in to find his wife in hysterics. They searched the house but could find no trace of what Nellie had seen. However, their front door was wide open, suggesting someone or something had run out of the house. The Robsons rushed next door to see what all the commotion was, and heard the crazy story that Nellie laid out. To this day, Colin Robson remembers the fear in the eyes of Nellie and her youngest daughter. Whatever they had seen had deeply terrified them. Just a few days later, the Heads made their way back to the Robson boys. The Abbey wasn't able to provide much more information beyond the fact they were apparently old. Almost straight away, the strange activity started.
When are we... Wait.
Began small, as these things often do. The Heads were placed on a shelf in the
whenever my job lets me do a live, like a recorded show, it's not Kobe's. It's really on me. I just don't have a lot of time. Traveling a lot. Not a good stuff,
Nate, you gotta get on there.
Yeah. And I'm sure Nate has a busy schedule. I have a busy schedule, but and it doesn't get any better in April. Whenever my job will ever be great, guys, I just kind of need this to be home.
I think our cousin said he'd jump on there. So yeah,
I think Melvin might be watching right now. So Melvin, if you're watching, please say hey. Say yeah. I mean, we are kind of talking about you, though, Nathan. You definitely probably have the best stories. I got stories. I bet you do.
I'm not going from here. No.
So, hey guys, share this video and grab a whole bunch of people so I don't have to.
Yeah.
You know, if we get 1,000, 100,000 people, we get it's good business. No, trust me, we do too. It's as much on me as it is you. So
yeah, definitely.
I totally get it. You say we need you to totally get on. Yeah, facts. We have stories to tell. It's on me, man. It ain't on young Kobe. That's why the Show Shot Show is no longer a thing, because I'm not home a lot, and when I am home, I got stuff to take care of. So
All right, let's keep this rolling.
Living
Let's
room.
keep it going.
When the family would come down in the morning, they would have changed positions, facing towards the garden where they had been found. Just a few days later, the Heads made their way back to the Robson boys. The Abbey wasn't able to provide much more information beyond the fact they were apparently old. Almost straight away, the strange activity started. It began small, as these things often do. The Heads were placed on a shelf in the living room. When the family would come down in the morning,
Pull up.
they would have changed positions, facing towards the garden where they had been found.
Kobe need to come down.
The Heads would be put back in their place, only to be found moved again the following day. Colin's mother and father were intrigued by this, and began leaving the Heads in different positions. Sure enough, overnight they would move, and what's more, the family would be awoken in the middle of the night by the sounds of their taps running. Colin's father was convinced one of the children was getting up in the middle of the night, doing all this, but he never was able to catch any of them in the act. When the family's oldest daughter Wendy came back from her honeymoon, she found her family a little obsessed with these strange Heads. She placed them under her bed, hoping to put a stop to this whole thing, but sure enough, when she woke up in the morning, the Heads had moved. Then items started breaking. Pictures would fall off the wall. A mirror was found, placed on top of a frying pan that was on a kitchen counter below it. But there wasn't a crack on the mirror. It was as if someone had carefully removed it and put it there. Ornaments were smashed on the ground, with the family becoming convinced that they saw them not fall, but fling themselves across the room, smashing on the opposite wall.
What did you say, bro? Oh, I think you froze. Keep it going.
The family also began discussing the feeling that there was something in their home. No one ever saw anything, not like Nellie next door had. In fact, at this point, no one had made the connection between what she had seen and the Heads coming into her home. But there was just a general feeling that the Robsons were never alone.
That house is pretty creepy.
It wasn't just inside the house that these strange events were taking place. Shortly after the Heads had been dug up, a large flower began to grow up from the spot where the boys had found them. What made this so weird?
Uh-oh, did we lose Rashad? Yeah, I think we lost Rashad. I will just keep it going.
Though, was if you were to look out to the garden from inside the house, it was as if the flower was being lit up by a bright light. But if you went outside to take a look, it just seemed totally normal. There was no light. Then there was the crying.
Wait, so Rick,
a sound that no one had heard before they had.
You ever see the house? I'm like, yeah, man, that house is haunted. Because I definitely had felt that before too.
Dug their heads up, but afterwards, the family would hear in the dead of night, coming from their garden, the sound of a baby crying. The press quickly became interested in the Heads. The initial discovery had drawn their interest, but the subsequent poltergeist-like activity and the apparent sighting of a half-man, half-sheep were too good to pass up. Numerous papers got in contact with the family and ran stories on the Hexam Heads. Now this is where the timeline seems to get very confusing. I've read quite a lot on the Hexam Heads, and almost every account seems to explain the event.
So Rashad got kicked out. Let me read this comment real quick. And then I see the old Amber Motels. I'm like, no, yeah, I feel you with that, definitely. Yeah, Rashad got kicked out, so hopefully he gets back on here as soon as he has a little heads up. Let's keep playing.
Events that followed, in a slightly different way. For the most part in this story, I've tried to rely on what was said directly from the people involved, but even that seems to be up for contention. According to Colin Robson, television presenter and Reverend Peter Moff turned up on their doorstep one day to interview the children about the Head. He explained that a Dr. Anne Ross was going to be in the area giving a lecture, and he was keen for her to see the Heads. Dr. Ross was an expert in Celtic history, and many believed at this point that these Heads had been left here centuries ago by a Celtic tribe. Jenny Robson, Colin's mother, apparently told Peter Moff he could take the Heads, and that they didn't want them back, not after all the strange events had begun. If the Heads ever made it back to the Robson household is another detail that appears to be disputed. But Colin Robson claimed that this was the last time he saw the original heads. This is how they ended up in the possession of Dr. Ross, who believed that the heads were Celtic in origin, and believed that the garden may have been the home of a Celtic shrine, stating in one report that they quite often worshipped human heads that were taken from their enemies. She even stated that, if this were the case, then she believed it wasn't out of the realm of possibility that the site the heads were found was in fact haunted. She wanted to get them tested to prove their authenticity one way or the other. But why would an academic, who has been referred to by many as a quiet, reclusive type, be so keen to publicly speak about the idea of a haunted Celtic shrine?
Right.
Well, as we know, Dr. Ross had her own experience shortly after taking the heads in. Dr. Ross had taken the heads to her home in Southampton, and they were far from the only Celtic objects that were there. Dr. Ross was used to studying these artifacts, but there was something unusual about the Hexam Heads. From the moment she handled them, Dr. Ross felt there was something special about them. She was immediately hit with a strange sense of unease as she handled the heads. She instantly locked them away in her study and planned to leave them there until she could take them to Newcastle for further study. 1 or 2 nights after they arrived, Dr. Ross was awoken by a strange sound, and that is when she saw the half-man, half-creature we spoke about at the start of tonight's story. At this time, Dr. Ross claimed she did not connect what she saw with the heads themselves. I'm unsure if Dr. Ross was aware of the supernatural claims that had been made by the Robsons, or the half-sheep, half-man report by the Dodd family. As I say, the timeline is a little confusing to say the least. It's possible that she was brought into this tale purely through the lens of understanding where these heads came from, rather than having anything paranormal explained.
I don't know. I think that's weird that you would just take something, know it's paranormal, and not know anything about what happened before. That's just me.
To her. But equally, it's possible she had read the stories, and these were playing on her mind. Regardless,
why'd you take it home?
It appears that Dr. Ross nor her husband decided to tell the rest of their family about what happened that night, which makes what followed all the more strange.
It's weird.
Dr. Ross and her husband returned home one afternoon just a few days later to find their teenage daughter Bernice in what they described as a state of shock. She was shaking and deathly pale. They asked her what happened, and Dr. Ross's blood ran cold as she heard her daughter's encounter. Bernice had returned home from school 2 hours earlier. She had opened the front door and walked in. She headed to the stairs and took one step up. As she glanced up, she was shocked to see a huge black figure standing on the stairs just a few feet above her.
Hell no.
Bernice froze to the spot. Whatever this was, it didn't look human. It was some sort of animal.
Where is she?
Without warning, it charged towards Bernice. But at the last second, it vaulted over the banister to the corridor below and ran off deeper into the house. Much like her mother, strangely, Bernice claimed that she felt compelled to follow it. But yet again, there was no sign of it. It had just vanished. Bernice, suddenly regaining her senses, fell to the floor in terror, and there she remained until her parents returned home.
Damn.
Following this,
the same creature that her mom saw that compelled her mom to follow it, her daughter's side. So yeah. Facts. I would have seen it, but yeah, the same creature that compelled her mom compelled her, and then when it vanished, I guess she was in the state of shock, which that's never been me. I would have done the thing Shell did. If I saw it, I would have turned right back around. Shit, I ain't playing around with that. But just because and the thing that I don't understand is why not tell the kids about any of it.
Right.
family heard the sounds of the soft padded paws of an animal landing on the hallway floor time and time again, as though what Bernice saw was playing out, stuck on some sort of loop. At times, they believed they caught glimpses of a large dark figure out of the corner of their eyes, but never got a good look at it again.
Low key.
Oftentimes, while working alone in her study, Dr. Ross's door would violently jolt open to reveal no one outside it.
That happened.
Dr. Ross had the heads tested, and it was estimated that they were, in fact, around 1,800 years old and were Celtic in origin. A spanner would soon be thrown into the works of the whole Hexam Heads story, though, when a lorry driver named Des Craigie contacted the papers to explain he had formerly lived in the Robsons' home. And what's more, he had created the heads himself.
Random Rick, you were on something.
Random Rick.
You said that house is creepy as hell. Trust your gut. I'm just telling you.
As a gift for his young daughter.
But Kobe, he said he created him by himself.
He made him in that house and created him by himself. But again, they were 1,000 years old according to so how did he make them?
So how did he make them? Yeah. Okay.
Des claimed that his daughter came running into the room one day, excitedly telling him that the heads he had made her when she was a child were on TV. Des would tell the Evening Chronicle.
And what's weird is that kid made a head. According to his story, he made these heads too. And then he dug them up in the ground. I don't know what's going on.
That he made them about 16 years prior. His father had lived in the Robsons' house until about a year ago, and the Craigie family called it home for 30 years. He made the heads from bits of stone and mortar, just quickly, rolling them up like a snowball, and gouging the face
centuries,
and gave them to his daughter, who would use the foil from penguin bars to make eyes for them. He actually made 3, but it appears one was never found. Des found the entire thing hilarious. Dr. Ann Ross was curious about Craigie's claim and wanted to see him create a replica to...
No.
I won't stay in my house with no electricity.
Absolutely not. No.
So we came close. We had a storm just a couple days ago. I ended up buying the generator, but power came on as soon as I
What do you give a
brought
generator?
in the crib.
demonstrate his abilities.
I got generator
The
from
reason for this was
Home Depot.
Yeah, that's good.
Well,
that while she thought it was certainly possible that these were not as old as she believed, if they were a recent creation, they had been created to look as close to a Celtic head as possible. This wasn't just a crudely thrown together art project as Des had claimed. It had all the characteristics you would expect to see in a genuine artifact. She also believed that the heads contained some kind of power. After all, how else could she explain what was currently going on in her home?
Right.
Craigie did create a replica, but most didn't see a distinct resemblance between the replicas and the original heads. In recent years, author Paul Screeton did some more digging into Des and discovered he had quite the reputation of being a prankster. If he did just make the claim of creating the heads as an attempt to get an attention though, he did stick with the story for the rest of his life. There is also the strange photo that Screeton included in his book, which appears to show Des with the original heads, but no one, including Des's son, can clarify when and where the photo was taken. One consideration that could be made is that maybe Des did make 3 heads while living in the property, but that these were not the same heads that were dug up. Maybe something there influenced him, planting the idea of the heads in his mind. Maybe this is why an 11-year-old Colin would make his own heads just before digging the Celtic heads up, a sort of faded memory floating around the garden in Hexam, entering the residents' minds.
That's what I said.
But it wasn't just Des Craigie's claims that put doubt on the heads. Geologists in Newcastle and Southampton appeared to have differing views on the age of the heads, with one expert claiming they were in fact close to 2,000 years old, while the other believed the material they were made from suggested they were a much more recent creation. Eventually, Dr. Ross decided she needed to get the heads as far away from her family as possible. She sent them off to Newcastle's Museum of Antiquities, and almost immediately, the strange phenomena that was taking place in her home stopped.
They set them hoes back.
But there are 3 mysteries associated with the Hexam Heads. The first is where they came from. The second is what power, if any, did they have. The third is what happened to them. The Hexam Heads seemed to pass through various institutes and into different hands after Dr. Ross passed them on, but at some point they made their way to Don Robbins, the man who popularized the stone tape theory. The idea that somehow the images of events and people can be stored in rocks and other objects as almost like a spiritual echo.
I've never heard of that
He
before.
believed this could explain what was happening with the heads,
Yeah.
that they had somehow captured some sort of past event, and maybe the strange half-man, half-beast creatures people were seeing and the other strange phenomena was simply this playing out after the heads were disturbed.
What?
While he didn't witness any direct apparitions, as some of the previous owners did, Robbins believed that there was something to these heads. They gave off an undeniable atmosphere, and he couldn't help but notice it felt like the eyes could see him wherever he placed them. There have been many claims made about who the heads ended up with, but according to Robbins, he passed them on to a man named Frank Hyde. Frank had a keen interest in all aspects of the paranormal, and Robbins believed that he may be able to give
Alright, I think we're good. Is that okay with everybody?
You done with it? Okay. So
What do you guys think? Want to go maybe what really happened? Maybe hear about that?
Yeah, I don't know, bro. That whole story's bizarre, and I think it might be beyond. Yeah, what really happened? Boom, there you go.
So what really happened? Well, that's not an easy question to answer. As I've already stated, trying to pin down the details of this one has proved really difficult. For what is essentially such a simple story, every single element seems to have multiple differing takes on events. Even the year that the heads were found is disputed, which starts you off on a difficult road almost immediately. I don't think this necessarily points to the whole thing being a hoax, however. Obviously, newspapers were not sending out their top reporters to jump on what was essentially a silly local paranormal story, leading to numerous factual errors in the initial reports, even down to the witnesses' names. I don't think this really became such a big story until years later, when the BBC Nationwide programme was aired. By that time, the location of the heads was unclear, and no more serious research could be done on them than what had already been carried out. There's also the fact that many of the people who are still talking about this event now, who were directly involved, were literally children when these events took place, retelling events that took place decades ago over a short space of time. Most likely their memories of what happened is the result of how their families had retold the stories in their households over the years. The half-man, half-beast that Dr. Ross and Nellie Dodd saw is an interesting aspect of the story. It's often reported as appearing to be a werewolf, but while Dr. Ross described it as more wolf-like, Nellie Dodd was very clear that it had the head of a sheep or a ram. One interesting story that came out as a possible explanation to this came from the slaughterhouse that was located close to the houses in Hexam. Apparently around the time of Nellie's shocking experience, a small group of locals had gotten rather drunk and decided to steal meat from the slaughterhouse. Apparently one of these men was walking down the street with a sheep slung over his back. A man who spoke to Paul Streeton said he believed that this in fact
so he had the sheep
that night. Although there appears to be no evidence that this event took place, nor does it really match up with her experience. There are also suggestions that the abattoir in question is also the home of several reported ghost sightings, including that of a phantom half-man, half-sheep, although it seems these claims were made after the Hexam Head story broke. If you are familiar with the story, and you have noticed that my retelling of the discovery of the heads appears to differ from the more commonly told version, then that's because it is different. I have taken much of the information about the initial discovery and what took place in the first few days from an interview with Colin Robson that was conducted in more recent years. While it's debatable
what
if
they
this
say,
version
they
is the most
said
accurate,
the heads are
I
probably
thought it.
a symmetrical design that release whatever happened. If one would recreate the heads, this might happen again. Just a thought. What do you think about that, baby bro?
Yeah, that's what I feel like. I feel like they give off this thing that makes you want to make them. That releases this energy of these like I don't know what's going on. Poltergeist type situations with were sheep, werewolves
What do you
popping
think
around.
What do you think they tapped into though? Because Nate was saying if they were to recreate them,
Like portal, like a portal,
a portal to another.
like Celtic magic.
So what is Celtic magic though? Explain to the people.
I don't know what Celtic magic is.
You don't. You know it is. You might not be able to explain it. So it's almost like okay. You know how the Marvel movies, right? They got like the Doctor Strange shit going on, right? You know what I'm saying? And they got runes. And if the runes in the actual, it's like they actually have runes. Doctor Strange too. There's actual runes in that hole, right? That beast that shows up.
Mm.
That's real shit.
Yeah. Like The Witcher, the Vikings, paganism, Nords magic. Yeah, that kind of stuff is Celtic magic.
Yeah. So I think what Nate is saying is that like it's special design to release whatever will happen and they recreate the heads if they knew how to do it, which I don't think we do. Maybe there's some people that know how to do it. I don't know.
I think those heads they'll have a power to like.
Yeah, see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell that one. Read that for the people.
The one cat said he made one just out of what he saw and said the one kid said he made one just out of what he saw and said perhaps it shared thought in the universal mind that we all could have access to. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Son of a biscuit, that's deep.
It's making you see it, and then the kid found it later on. Just like that dude said he made it, but then like they're like maybe he found it too. It was on that same area, in that same area.
Made the most sense to go with what he claimed happened, although he doesn't seem to recall the event's timeline with the greatest of confidence. It's hard not to see why this mystery has captivated so many people over the last 50 years. It's a mystery on top of a mystery on top of a mystery. The discovery of the BBC Nationwide episode has given the Hexam Heads a bit of a resurgence in interest. Maybe it's time to begin the search again. Maybe someone out there listening to this can be the person to finally find the Hexam Heads and put this strange mystery to bed once and for all. That's all for this entry into the tape library.
Yeah, we're getting it there.
All right.
So thank you guys for hanging in there for that. I know it's a long deal, but we want to get into that stuff. We want to get to more of the supernatural stuff, and that's super interesting. And yeah, what do you think about in general? Like, what do you think that they are? What do you think they represent?
I think
what do you think that they bring?
Celtic magic that opens a portal. It's it's a thing you don't want to grab. It's like I don't know. So there's a lot of stuff like that. People find these ornaments or items, and they have like a little girl knocking at their door, their bedroom door at night. Shit like that. Just the things you just don't want to touch. They've been cursed items.
Do you think there was something that's knocking at the bedroom door or the closet door or something like that? If there is something really knocking?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, all right. So my question to you is that what do you do in those situations? Like, what would you do?
I have to get rid of that item.
Okay. All right.
Get rid of the item.
That's pretty simple. Super lame. But a simple...
I'm not going to play around with it.
You are so a black person in a horror movie.
Yeah. I'm knocking on my door at night saying, let me in. I'm like, oh, you know what? We did bring in that weird baseball we found outside. Let's just go ahead and put that right back where we found it.
Probably should get rid of it. Yeah. So, chat. I know who are still here because that was a long dissertation or whatever. But yeah, we don't play with that, man. Use your common sense.
Yeah.
Like it is what it is. You know you know what you brought in the crib. Get rid of it.
We get into game for the game.
Yeah, we can get into it, but
let's not do too many. It's pretty late.
Really? Do you see? Can you pull that one up? Because I can't. My mouse is missing.
Really? Do you see a ginger in a horror movie? That's true.
Well, big fat. Why? Because gingers know how to make shit. They know better. If you know better, you'll do better.
They look closer inside the eye of many gods. They found the basement of the pyramid in black light posters. What?
Who's the eye of many gods? Why we care about? So we didn't get everything, Kobe. So like we probably need to throw it back up. To get, he said, I did look closer. Answer saw the eye of many gods. Then I saw the base from the pyramids and the black light protesters. They can talk some shit now. Whether you see ginger in a horror movie, yep. Why we carry weapons? Because somebody taught us to look closer. So I did. So I think Nathan is he's being funny and being real at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit was hilarious when David T. Berry kept saying, "Look closer, look closer, look closer." It's deeper than rap. Yeah. Fucking annoying shit. Yeah. And Random Rick.
Get into this game for the game.
Well, hold on, Kobe. Like, could we break? We got to break his shit down now. And maybe just me. All right, get into the game for the game. I'm thinking about it too hard. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, let's do it and we can break it down at the same time.
All right.
All right, so this is facts.
Are trying to scare people into joining the church?
Yeah, but people like getting scared on Halloween anyway. Why not make them jump in the right direction?
Actually, fear has been a recruiting tactic used by organized religion for centuries. When you add guilt to keep people in line, it's an extremely efficient form of crowd control.
Our religion is based on love, Sheldon, not fear.
So what happens when people don't follow the rules?
They burn in hell. Because God loves them. Hang on. Y'all are trying
Man, the thing that can come through the veil behind. Oh shit, let me pull that up. This shit, man, the thing that can come through the veil is the only. Yeah, facts.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I was trying to say. Like what Nathan talking about. Nathan's getting real deep. Whatever. I mean, we jump into shit, but Nathan's really trying to be deep right now.
I can't. My brain's not working.
Cool. I know a little lit. You're like, hey, look, I don't want to embarrass, bro. But it's like what Nathan's talking about, man. We really think about that. Huh. I'm gonna bring that back up if you don't mind. So they come through the veils beyond what we can comprehend. So guys, take that really listen to that, understand what he's trying to talk about, man. There's some wild stuff out there, and that's what the middle letters are for. Yeah, that's crazy, man. And we're gonna put something up. I think maybe in a couple of weeks. Cause we're kind of a couple of weeks ahead now, and maybe we could move it. Because the thing that you sent me, I put it in our notes or whatever. We might just need to jump to that. Do you want to jump to it?
What's it called?
It's extra dimensional being or whatever. It's in the notes, young Kobe, and it is
Interdimensional being.
Interdimensional being. Yeah, I said extra, right? I said extra.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Let's throw Nathan's thing up there. Some cannot or will not see with the bill. Man, no. Dig that. Okay, let me read it for the people can hear. Some cannot or will not see what the bill can offer or show, and people be thinking I'm crazy. Honestly, bro. Sometimes I dumb myself. I dumb myself down. I see a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I dull myself. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you do it too. You just see this stuff happening and you just can't handle it. There's not much out there to measure to what is out there. Yeah, those are the facts. Those are right.
Yeah.
So Kobe, you know I needed a lot of rest this weekend, right? I need a lot of rest. Got to bed. Awesome. Great. I rested pretty good, right? Started to see shit. Anyway, and I had to dull myself again. I did. I had to dull myself again because I started to see stuff because I got really rested. And my consciousness came back to me. My consciousness got to my body. And I got back to myself and I started to see crazy stuff because I was well rested. How's that work? Let's see here. Throw up Nathan's comments again, buddy. There's not much to measure out there. There's not much out there to measure what is out there. Yeah. I think me and Nathan are vibrating on the same thing right now. Oh. I'm kind of dull last show. I was tired. Weak. And then I got this new bed I keep talking about, you know what I'm saying? And that's some really good rest.
That's good.
And my third eye opened up again. I started to see stuff. And I'm like, son of a biscuit, here we go again. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm tired, I can't see anything. And I've been tired a lot because I had a bad bed. I'm doing a lot. And all that good stuff. Now I got an awesome bed. And I'm starting to see crazy stuff. Anyway, yeah, same way, brother. So the show's gonna get a lot more interesting. That's when I got an awesome bed. And Kobe, I told you about the bed.
Yeah, bro. I think you should lean into it more, but I'm gonna let that one be it. But you want to show these people this thing?
I'll show them. You got it. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'll do that. I'm with you. I'm gonna do that. Real shit.
Want me to do it?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so do I got the next one, buddy?
I got you on this. Oh, that's not what we're looking for.
I got it.
Go ahead, bro.
All right, let's get it. Oh, by the way, Shell was in the bed like a mofo. Shell doesn't take naps, but she's enjoying the new situation, so that's pretty cool. All right, guys. Let me get this one on. All right, let's see what he's talking about.
Wife, if you don't love me, I'm going to set you on fire. Does she have a choice? And also, am I a loving, good husband? Those are two questions I want you to answer.
If you set her on fire, then you never loved her to begin with.
And if God sends us to hell, he never loved us to begin with.
Wrong.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
God does love you.
Let me ask you a question, Eric, and this is a genuine question. Just yes or no. This is not a gotcha. I just genuinely want to know. Do you have anyone in your life that you genuinely love with all your heart?
Yeah.
What would that person have to do for you to condone them being tortured for all eternity?
What would that person have to do?
What choice would they have to make?
What choices would that person have to make for you to be like, you know what, the best thing could happen right now is that you get tortured forever. That would be a really good thing. What would cause you to make that choice, that decision?
Nothing.
Yeah. If I tell my wife, if you don't love me, I'm going to set you on fire, does she have a choice? And also, am I a loving, good husband? Those are two questions I want you to answer.
If you set her on fire, then you never loved her to begin with.
And if God sends us to hell, he never loved us to begin with.
Wrong.
Okay.
So we really need to discuss this one. So I know that's a game for the game, and we just keep it pushing when we do shit like that. We got to talk about it. Kobe, I love you to death, bro.
Yeah.
If you fuck up, nah,
Burn you to the stake.
I'm gonna bring you to the stake
because I love you. Yeah. But that's not the New Testament God. Well, kind of,
yeah. What do you mean?
In some ways.
It's the same thing.
But you know, you can just say, my bad, God, and you'll be all right.
Because anybody that believes in the New Testament is holding on to that.
Well, shut. Just say, my bad. My bad.
I love Jesus is my bad. That is his name. Anyways, so
I burned down a village, killed men and children and babies. Yes. My bad, God.
My bad, God. So as you just say, my bad, God, you're good. The crazy thing about it, if the biblical scripture says that anybody can get it, I know that Jesus came and said, nah, they messed up because they were telling Yeshua's story, but they didn't tell it the right way. And people who are just so programmed, they can't understand what the real story is. That's not the real story. That's not what he was really trying to tell you to do. People still believe that if you drink too much and get drunk, you're going to hell.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what they believe because
it's wild work to me, man. If you steal from the convenience store, you go to hell unless you pray for forgiveness. But all sins are equal. The 10 Commandments, and then they tell you all sins are equal. So which is it?
I don't know, man. I can't imagine you murdering somebody and you stealing from the grocery store is the same sin, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you stole because you're hungry compared to killing somebody. I don't know. Maybe different with killing somebody. If you
you told a white lie, you still going. It's a riot, B.
Sin of killing somebody.
Yeah. Like how did they work? So Nathan said, live right and you will be good. I love beer, but I take care of my community. Oh God, big fact. Me too. And I love my community, and the community is all the people that are around you, the people who you love, and the people that you care for. Like whether it's putting money on the books or being at the graduation. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm saying being at the graduate because I just graduated from some shit. You know what I'm saying? But like, just be a good person. And so I don't. But Kobe, I understand. Like, I just don't get it. Like, you don't believe in me, right? Kobe, if I was God and you didn't believe in me, I'm not gonna burn you in hell. I'm just not. Want to know why I'm not? Because that's weird.
That is weird.
That's weird. It's weird. So I can't subscribe to that. You feel me? I just can't. Because the cavemen that came before you don't know who you are. Right?
The cavemen who were before you don't know who you are.
But you're burning in hell, apparently. What the show say?
Oh yeah, it makes sense. Like you didn't know what this religion was. Now I'm in hell. I didn't know what this religion was.
Oh, yeah, I'm burning it. Since I don't believe all sins are equal. You keep someone no. Yeah. But if you did it just to protect your loved one, you know what I'm saying? Then what happens then? Like, Valhalla was only granted to those who died in battle. But are we always in battle, or do we have to die a violent death? Big facts, because
Valhalla is a violent death.
Yeah, and because in this reality, we're not in battle, right? Well, Civil War may come one day. I don't know, but but we know there are times of peace, and people don't. And we're in time of peace right now, at least in this country. And odds are we're not going to die in battle. We have relatives that didn't die in battle. Like, we know what it is, right? So they don't go to Valhalla. Like, what are we talking about? It's a game. It's a game. It's a sham. Stop. Let's see here. Shell said, "A big difference. Self-defense is fine, but evil people
that do for sport,
absolutely not." I agree. Yeah. But who's to judge that? Who is the judger of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, Psalms is a good book. Psalms is a good book. Where did it come from? What does it mean? I'm sure there are things in there because we don't discredit everything that's in there, but the could we just like stop and you had too much.
Well, I think that when people say like who's to say like what's good and bad, you kind of know. I think humans kind of have I don't know if that came from religion or from humans, but we all kind of know if someone's murdering somebody for sport, that's bad. Like they're not a good part of the group. You should probably get rid of them in some stance. They're not good for overall society or overall survival if you're murdering people just to murder people. So you don't need God to tell you that.
That's common sense, but the people who are dedicated to the faith, do they believe in the same thing? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where like we're trying to like bridge the gap and connect the dots to be like, hey, like, okay, yeah, that's a problem. You should something should happen to you, but you got another text that says all things are equal.
And,
you know what I'm saying?
You know,
and you have people.
I mean, whatever. That doesn't make any sense. If you're a capitalist and you're talking about you're a Christian, that doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna say that.
Big facts. I mean, we got Jim Crow laws.
Sin's greed. So I don't know what greed is sin. And, you know, if you're a rich person, you think you can't help poor people, and you're a Christian, doesn't make any sense. We've had people in this chat talk about how we shouldn't help poor people and talk about other Christians. That really doesn't make sense. I'm just saying. So you gotta think about that stuff.
You gotta make it make sense. Real talk. All right, bro.
No tactics.
So by the way, y'all, Shell said something real quick here. By the way, guys, I don't know if you guys know, but segregation is okay according to federal law now. So,
bro, also the death penalty throws me off because we're proud. But yes, but I don't understand that we kill people who kill people. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
So, if you kill that person, should you not be killed at the same time? Like, what are we talking about?
The difference is if I kill you, like if you're trying to kill somebody and they kill you, I get it. But if you kill somebody, you shouldn't get the death penalty. You should just rot in prison, in my opinion. You gotta live with that one. I'm sorry. I think it's too easy.
But I think it's too easy, man. Live by it, die by it. What Nathan say, young Kobe?
I believe in good works and staying calm, and when most do not. During a write-up I received at work, I was rather remarkably calm. That's good. I mean, I like that too. I'm not gonna lie though. A lot of people, I don't know, to a point. I think a lot of people in our culture is like that. So a lot of people are very calm, but I'm talking about Americans. I think a lot of Americans are calm, but our potential for violence is so high due to the life we live every day. Like, because Americans, you know what I mean? So, like, yeah, we got to work on that in some aspect. But yeah, I try to be calm, but I'm very also about
are you calm?
For the most part, but I'll definitely address you. I want to bring that up because that's the conversation we're talking about in the barbershop, and maybe people in the chat will agree with me. And they're saying LeBron was in the wrong for everything, you know, approaching Stephen A. And all that. And I was like, I can see why you would say he's in the wrong to a certain extent, approaching him at the game. I could see that, you know. But I just think, but I was trying to say that I thought it was dumb for Stephen A. Smith to talk about how he would smack him now, like talking about how you would smack them.
It swung on them.
And they were like, well, the golden rule is you put your hand on somebody, they can put their hands on you. I said, yeah, but why are they talking about it now? And people don't understand, like, you didn't have that energy when he was in your face. He came in your face, and then you got on your podcast, said you see where he's coming from as a dad, and that was it. And then you just kept talking about it and kept talking about it. So, sorry.
I think, and I'm gonna throw shows coming up there in a minute, baby. I see you. I think what Stephen A. said was that if he would have put his hands on me, then I would have swung on him. But what was the point of that? Because he never put his hands on you. So why would you say if he would have put his hands on me, I would have swung on him? He didn't put his hands on you, and he wasn't even anywhere close to putting his hands on them. So what are we talking about?
That's what I was saying. I said that wasn't what was gonna happen. Like, well, he did something that he never seen LeBron do. I said, but LeBron was looking for his hands on him in the middle of the game. LeBron wasn't that close to him like that. The fact he said it was weird. That was whack. And they're trying to understand. They're trying to argue his point. I'm like, so he's being professional. I was like, I think that's weird when people say, like, I was trying to be professional when you felt threatened, and then you talk about it afterwards. You felt threatened. You should have felt threatened then and thought about it then. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I'm gonna put it where the ghost can get it. And a lot of people don't give a shit about what we're talking about, but I'm gonna put it where the ghost can get it. Stephen A's a bitch. Now fuck with him no more. So you got to write the. Oh, we put that up there. He went. Oh no, I don't think we put this up.
No, we didn't.
You got to write the defend yourself. That was done one of this comment. He wanted Bron to put. Yeah, I think he wanted Bron to put hands on him.
Here's my thing.
But Braun would have destroyed him. But he did say he get that for. But go ahead, Kobe. Say your thing, buddy.
Here's my thing. We can keep moving on because it's late at night. If you would have said that right after, if that all happened, and you said, I get it, I see with the father. Hey man, you got my face kind of close. If you put hands on me, I would get over and get my ass whooped because I would have hit him. If you would have said it then. But why wait until after the Pat McAfee show, and then you're talking about how he wasn't at the Kobe Bryant funeral? All this, now you're talking about how if he would have his hands on you. Like, come on, man, what are we talking about?
It's crazy work, and I agree with you. And the fact to talk about where he wasn't when he wasn't, he had stuff to do. LeBron James, he's a $1 billion man. So you wouldn't at this event, you wouldn't at that event. Look, I feel some type of way. People were at my event, but it doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? Like it just wasn't. It is what it is. People couldn't make it. It is what it is. It's like I'm not hurt by it. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand what it. I get it. Like, but why are you gonna condemn it? Let LeBron say, or let Kobe say. Look, I wasn't around to say it, but let the people say. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? Because you don't know how those people felt if LeBron wasn't there. They may have known why he wasn't there. You feel me? And the people who were at my event, I know why they were there, and I'm okay with that. Right. It's good. I understand it. But come on, man. Stephen A, that's a low blow. Yeah. And you know what he is? He's a low blow. Yeah. Get out of here with that. All right, man. So we got the what's the next one, buddy?
The afterlife.
Hey, we just talked about that. Go ahead and hit it, bro. Throw this up here real quick while you're doing that. Nancy White said, being calm in controversial or argument, not showing emotion per weakness will give you control over the person. We'll control the situation. On God, big facts. Big facts. I agree.
If you can't read it, it says cavemen being thrown in hell for not following one of the 9 religions that were created 7 years after their death. That's funny.
How would they know any better?
I don't think that. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't work like that.
No, it doesn't make any sense, man. It doesn't track. Like it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It's not. Come on, what are we talking about? So this shit it's built to control people. And we're not trying to steer you away from it, you know what I'm saying? Because there are good parts that come out of it, but you gotta know what you're getting into, man. It's like that crazy girlfriend you get with, or crazy boyfriend you get with, or whatever, and you marry and you do all this stuff with, right? That motherfucker you the interview shit, right? But that's some shit that lies beneath. You gotta know what it really is. All right, so this is what is this, Kobe? Karma. Let's check this out.
Did the Anunnaki get in trouble for creating humans? I believe that the answer is speculation, meaning we don't know exactly, but there is a mythology story that talks about how the Anunnaki have karmic consequences for what they did here on Earth. And the reason I actually resonate with this is because it makes total sense. You know how everyone says, where did they go? Why did they go? Why did they leave? They created kingship. They were tired. The ancient gods were tired of looking over humanity. So they got their hybrids, some would call the demigods, and gave them the kingship to rule Earth. And this is why royal families always marry within their bloodlines to keep the bloodline pure. It all goes back to the Sumerian kings list. They invented kingship. So technically, the closest thing to what we could consider Anunnaki are the royal families. But of course, then you also have to consider all the illegitimate children. Just think of Game of Thrones, the white Targaryen kids that you'd see running around in the markets, all illegitimate children. Same thing. You couldn't trace the offspring of the illegitimate children even if you wanted to. There are so many of royals. There is a legend or a mythology story, whatever you want to call it, about the Galactic Federation that is a little bit like the Star Trek Federation, where they watch over planets. Our planet had its own inhabitants. If it was seeded from Nibiru or not, that's another story. Regardless, there were these sentient bipedal hominids on this Earth that were evolving at their own pace. Here come the Anunnaki and boost our evolution up by thousands and thousands of years.
Don't think it's the game.
Some scholars
they
even
did
say
that
by 1,000,000 years. They dumped humanity down. They turned off our psychic abilities, our sixth sense. A lot of the abilities that every animal species has on Earth. You don't think it's odd that almost all animals have all these heightened abilities and heightened senses, and then we don't? That is odd. They shortened our life by putting caps on our telomeres, making the lifespan over 120 years impossible. Then after the Tower of Babel, they divided all of the people, changed their language, and put them all in different parts of the world, creating religions to separate them all. Because God forbid you all come together, you would be way too powerful, and they could no longer control you. With these things that changed dramatically the evolution of our species, yes, they would have karmic consequences. Believe that they're stuck, meaning they cannot evolve to the next level until.
All right, y'all. So we'll need to keep going on that because it's a long, drawn out thing that she talks about. But she hits the major parts, whatever. Let's throw this up here from Nathan White real quick. Nathan, why do you prefer Nathan, or is it? Oh, that's some other shit. Anyways, but bro, I truly believe that, man. And we can talk about the karma and shit because there's some karma stuff going on like that. And I don't think that people are ready to hear about the karmic stuff that happens in Anunnaki and all that. But I really do believe that they took the hominids that were already here. Because as you guys didn't know, on Earth, there were like 4 or 5 different hominid beings that resemble humans, Homo sapiens, before we even got here. Yep. Why do you people not find it weird that they were all wiped out when Homo sapiens came? Why does nobody talk about that, bro? Like the Neanderthal hung around for a bit.
Say what, buddy? People think it's speculation, just like the pyramid thing.
How's it speculation? Like when it's documented.
I don't know.
I think because religion be messing this stuff up, and like people don't just study anthropology. Like this real stuff that there were other beings here before we were here, and then we happen to show up and wipe everybody out. Nobody talks about that. Like these people have been here for millions of years. Hominids, different versions of hominids,
right?
And we show up and we wipe them out. And the Neanderthals lasted the longest. That's why you hear about them, because they were stronger, smarter, better. And the celestial event happened, which we talked about.
Yeah,
which we talked about, because we knew the cave systems, and they died out.
Yeah.
And their Neanderthal DNA in people in Europe, and that's not by choice. It's not by choice, but we do know the Neanderthals lived. That's right. Like none of this is speculation. Am I right, Kobe? Like these are all facts, but the speculation is that Homo sapiens evolved along with the Neanderthals, the Homo erectus, all the other stuff. Like, what are we talking about? We were upgraded.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why we live. Either we got lucky, which I mean,
we did.
Maybe, but I don't know, bro.
We did, but we came out of nowhere, and we were killing people. We were killing off other hominid groups along with the Neanderthals. Nobody talks about it. Anyways, guys, so that's this game for the game. Just think about that. Why did that happen? Why is that? And we're still a warring species. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We still are a warring species. So Nathan White says something real quick. I'm throw this up here. Most people want to eat about extreme things. The other beings are not so much fun. Yeah. No, I agree. But Nathan, I'm sure you agree with us. It's like, but this needs to be talked about. These need to be taught in the schools. We need to know that we wiped people out. We wiped out entire species. But you know how they're trying to even in this country, Kobe, we're not gonna get too into politics, but in this the Trump administration, they're trying to wipe out history. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's how this happens. The people in power, the people who won the war, are the ones who tell the history. And black history is all what being forgot. I don't know if you know, but a brother invented the light bulb. It wasn't Thomas Edison. So and this is not that podcast, but I think it's stuff we need to talk about. So all right, bro, you got the next one, buddy.
All right. This one's called "We Really See the Color Spectrum."
You f up your reality with a little bit of science. You see, of all the light that exists in the universe, of all of it, humans are only capable of seeing 0.0035%. That's it. That's not even the f***ing mental part. All you need to know is that light is a wave, and depending on the wavelength of the light changes the type of light that it is. Now, if light has a wavelength shorter than 380 nanometers or longer than 750 nanometers, our eye just stops being able to see it. So anything within that range is our visible light. Now remember, that's only 0.0035.
I'll be right back. Talk about
is visible to us. But here's the crazy part, because when we put it into perspective, right? Just imagine that we get all the wavelengths of light that exist and we stretch them on a spectrum from Los Angeles to New York. Of all of that light, what is visible to us, to humans, is the size of a peanut.
That's crazy.
That's it. So when they say seeing is believing, just remember that that's probably not the whole picture.
trying to know everything. Stop trying to know everything. That's not your job. But some things you're gonna just have to know.
All right, let me up your.
That's crazy. So, could you imagine the things that you don't see? Like, we don't see dark matter. There's probably like, man, there's so many things the human eye just cannot pick up on in this universe. So I'll go on to the next one. This one's called the Great Wall of Tartaria.
This hidden from you. The Great Wall of China isn't just a wall, it's a warning. Think about it. 13,171 miles long. Let me put that in perspective. Crossing the U.S. coast to coast is about 3,000 miles. Now multiply that by 4, and then add 1,000 miles. That's how massive this wall is. Now the question is, who builds something that massive for centuries just to keep a few nomads out? Here is where things get strange. They started building it in 220 BC, over 2,000 years ago. Back then, resources were scarce. Manpower was everything. So ask yourself, what could have scared them so badly they spent more than 1,000 years constructing this monster of a wall? But here's the twist. Take a closer look. The steep side of the wall, the side designed to stop invaders, it's facing China. Yeah, the defenses weren't built to keep people out. They were built to keep something in. And that brings us to the theory of the Tartarian Empire. They say Tartaria built the wall, not the Chinese. And the purpose wasn't to protect, it was to contain, to lock away something so dangerous, so terrifying, that it could threaten the entire empire. That's strange, right? What was the wall really holding back? They've kept this hidden from you.
Pretty crazy.
That's wild. Who said that? Yeah, man, y'all hating on me.
It seems the way.
I am. But that's not the point.
Who said that?
I don't know who said that.
Was that you?
I don't know. Why would I say that about myself?
I don't know, bro. Well,
It was me. I went out. I had to go to the bathroom and I'm like, Charlotte, if I lit, she's like, wait till you watch your back. You're lit. I'm like, son of a biscuit. Sorry, guys.
I was thrown off for a second. I'm like, I mean, it's facts, but
yeah, she was like, you should see Kobe's facial reaction. So I was like, all right, whatever. But that's
the next one. Oh, you want to go talk about it?
No, yeah, we kind of talk about it. So that's interesting.
You know why I'm rushing? Go ahead and talk.
Oh, why you know?
The bathroom. That's why.
I got you. Okay, so Kobe left. Just said Liddy did the titty, and I am, guys, and I apologize for that. The Timberwolves run. It was a good game. I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, I cheer for my team. I like sports. I like the NBA. So whatever. But you're getting the real me. So I guess that's cool. Anyway, so I think Kobe was doing. We should really talk about it. I don't know why we don't talk about it more often, about how the Tartarians made the Great Wall, whatever. They're trying to keep something like have you guys really ever thought about like why they made the Great Wall of China, or you guys just kind of like, yeah, whatever, they made it? How did they make it? Honestly, that thing is longer than the United States of America. Like, how did they make that? Do you guys care? Because I do. That's a big deal. How does somebody make that? How did they construct it? How did they get the manpower? And how did they get the materials? We couldn't make that wall now, but nobody talks about it.
No doubt. And we had things in America that we couldn't make now.
Right.
State buildings with the granite and shit. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Nobody talks about it. So these are the things in the middle letters that we're here for. We're here to talk about that kind of stuff, to just bring it into your frontal lobe. You know what I'm saying? Because people like, well, I need those TP reports on my desk. Okay, I understand that, but how did they make the Great Wall of China?
And why did they
make
on the
it?
China side?
Right. What was the threat? Why can't you see it from space? What was the threat? What happened?
Why can't we make that anymore?
Yeah, no one talks about it. It's crazy to me. And I don't think Kobe did it happen in a different civilization. This happened in our current civilization of man, right? So which means let's see what did Shell say? I can't grab it. Can you grab it?
Which one? The lady than a titty?
No, not that. No, that's what they said.
Crazy word.
They gave a crazy word. Yeah. Yeah.
It
So
was a good game.
and I am letting it titty, and I apologize. And I gotta do better. I gotta get back 4 in the morning to hop on a flight. But and pack. I still ain't packed yet. But let's go to the next one, brother.
All right. This one from me, I ain't gonna lie. Were the Mayans actually black?
Okay.
We always tell you kind of dope things at you about how black people were here before. Black people weren't just, all black people in America weren't just brought over here in slave ships.
Early Europeans called the Mayans blackamoor due to their dark skin, which is reflected on their temple wall depictions. The Mayans are the successors of the Olmec or Old Mex civilization of Amexem. Amexem extended from northeast and southwest Africa across the Atlantis Ocean, yes, I said Atlantis, through present-day North, South, and Central America, which includes Mexico and the Atlantis Islands, also known as the Caribbean. They occupied parts of Mesoamerica, mainly the region that includes modern-day Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, El Salvador, Yucatan, and Honduras. The Mayans cultivated the first crops in the region. They also domesticated local wildlife and built the first cities in the region. They are known for their monumental architecture, advanced astronomical and mathematical knowledge, and for their use of hieroglyphic writing. Sound familiar? They were one of the most highly advanced civilizations in the Americas. Their complex writing system of over 800 symbols were similar to that of Kemet and other ancient cultures. They documented key cultural aspects like astronomy, mathematics, medicine, and spirituality. They left behind one of the most intricate and fascinating timekeeping systems in history, the Mayan calendar. It was originated from their Olmec ancestors who used it to chronologically record mythical and historical events. The Mayans, early Europeans called the Mayans blackamoor.
So yeah, and they were so cold, the Olmecs, they mapped the whole world and were off by, I believe they figured out by a yard. How? How was this ancient civilization doing this stuff? Sorry, I really pulled that one up. Let's go with an area, not a country. They just yep. Turtle Island. There's already people here.
Nate, what you know about that?
I mean, it's interesting. The more you look at history, it's interesting, and the darker it gets.
That's real facts. That's real facts. So, damn. Was Kobe looking at me like that though? Like who?
I had no idea.
Who wrote that? Shell, get off mental letters stuff. Seriously,
that was you. You were typing it.
Can you see me typing it? What I did?
Do you want to do some cap or no cap, or do you want to call it a night? Gotta go to bed.
Nigga, we got a whole bunch of stuff to do, bro. We got a whole bunch of stuff to do. So let's see. No, do the last one. Cause we got the no, we got that one. No, let's do cap or no cap. Let's do.
All right, let's do cap or no.
Let's get to it.
So first one is from Nate, and it's called the Cat Spirit.
Thank you, Nate. Appreciate it.
You never know sometimes when Instagram must have played it right off the bat, which is dumb because they have it muted.
Yeah, I hate that. Can't see it.
There's a cat in here?
He
Oh,
came right here.
Yeah.
I'll show it again.
No.
Mm.
Oh, sorry. Love you, bye.
Which is
Oh,
cat.
shit.
Are you okay? No, it's okay. I was just checking on you. Good night. I love you.
Who's going there like?
Huh? You're scary? Why? There's no monster in the window. I'll look. See? I'll look.
Yeah. I wouldn't Nathan, no cat.
Oh, okay. Cat was chasing away the monster.
Mm-hmm. Cat chasing away thing. So I went Nathan, no cat.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. She's watching instead of the cat. Okay.
You don't seem too excited about it.
I just don't. That didn't seem real. Like, oh, was there a cat in here?
She said she saw something in the thing in the window, right?
She saw a monster in the window. The little girl said.
Right.
She didn't see the cat.
And that's the point. She didn't see the cat, but she saw the monster in the window. How are you yawning? Come on, man.
Sleepy.
We don't get tired.
Man.
We don't get tired. You're not old. You're like you're how old are you?
36.
Oh my God, child. A child of God. Child of God. All right, I'll play the next one, man. What do y'all think about that? Nathan said it's no cap. I think it's no cap. Wait for anybody else who wants to jump in there and get their thoughts.
Transgression. I know, right? Trying to say you're typing that out. He know what he's doing on here.
Worry about that. It's not about me. It's about you. All right. So let's see what this is. UAP. What do y'all think?
Is this mountain or the pyramid? Oh, that's a flat ass satellite.
Yeah.
Just outside Cairo, and there's literally a UFO circling right over the top of the pyramid right now. Look at that. It's moving slowly. It's like it's scanning the structure or something.
What do you think, man?
I've never seen anything like this in my life.
What's the flat ass satellite?
It's not a helicopter or a drone.
Or whatever, that ancient satellite. Or it's a UFO, probably. Looks like that satellite.
It's hovering directly above the pyramids right now. Almost like it knows exactly what it's doing. I swear this feels unreal. This is like history, guys. You're seeing exactly what I'm saying.
EAP.
I
think it's real. I think it's no cap.
Should look a kite to me. I'm gonna say cat. I'm gonna say cat. You say no cat? Bro?
I said no. Did you hear me? I said no cat.
You said no cat. Okay. I think it's I don't know, dude. I'm gonna say cat. Say cat.
All right.
Let's see here. Yeah, can you see that shit? The chemicals and shit, like the chemtrails. And then Chell said that's a balloon. I think a balloon or a kite because the way that it's kind of floating. So on the way it's moving. But Kobe said it's true.
We're real. We're cool. At least.
I respect that. I like when we have different opinions on the shit, though. You know what I'm saying?
All right. This one's called I See You.
Okay. The Feezy? What's that? Oh, hell no. Wait, who's this? Hey, yo.
Cat.
That cat? It's because it's too easy to fake. Okay, I get that. But it's scary as shit, though. I'm gonna say, okay.
Punch it.
I'll say cat, but
it's a cat.
But Kobe, I've seen stuff like that before. Stop yawning. You making me
Sure, yeah. I'm sorry, I can't help it.
Jesus. He ain't tired, y'all. He ain't tired, y'all. He's my brother. Nathan White said, I don't know, no cat. Okay. I think it's no cat. Shell says cat. Okay. All right. I'm with that. Nathan White said, I've also seen yes.
Y'all try to fight it? But man, I'm throwing hands.
You're so afraid, Kobe. You're so petrified as you think when you think it's real that you can't react to it. All you can do is just kind of stare at it, like you're not gonna run and go see what's around the corner unless you're wired differently, and that's fine. So like maybe if you got trained by some the U.S. Army,
you're a soul detective.
And well, not only that, but trained by the U.S. military, and that you know what I'm saying when you run to it, right? I guess. That's crazy as hell. All right, y'all. So I got one.
I wouldn't go run after it. I'd probably be like, close my door. The stage tomorrow.
Yeah. What would y'all do if y'all ran across that? That's what I want to know. All right, so let's check this out. This is called, what is this called? Stairway to Heaven. All right, let's get it.
Smashed, but I'm here at my girlfriend's house by myself. She always says it's haunted because it sounds like somebody is walking around upstairs. I've never heard it until now. I always say it's not haunted because the house is a little old.
Yep. I'm with you, Nate.
But it just sounds like there's somebody up there. I will swing on a ghost, or if it's a person.
Sound like your ass.
That's me. I'm swinging at a ghost.
And hit air.
Yeah. It'll feel good.
Who's up there? Oh my God, they're like at the top of the stairs.
Bro, they're not big.
Come down these stairs and I will swing on you, I promise.
He ain't swing on nothing.
Something dropped. Something fell.
My front camera is smashed, but
yeah,
I'm here at my girlfriend's house by myself. She always says it's haunted because it sounds like somebody is walking around upstairs.
Punch.
I've never heard it.
He fell, bro. He fell.
The punch of the Holy Ghost.
Hey, that bro said, yeah, way later. Like, get out of here, man. You already got. You're done. You're done. Cap or no cap?
Probably cap. Ain't nobody punching no ghost. I'm leaving.
I'll say no cap.
Then to the girlfriend's house too, but all right, babe. I'm going back home. I'll see you.
Just say he just draw your hair and thing. All right. You just catch this word, no cap. Yeah. I think no cap. I don't think he swung on anything though. I mean, I saw a hand, but I think that hand was a scary hand.
Scary hand?
Yeah, I think it was a scary hand, buddy. What'd you think?
Fist of Jesus Christ.
You can call his name out as you want to. Nathan White said girlfriend's mom's house.
Yeah, I would have left. This one's called Sasquatch.
This one's pretty good. Let's check this out.
Check this footage out, y'all. Crypto University here.
Oh,
this is one of the best pieces of footage that we've been able to get our hands on to show you guys. This is a legit Sasquatch that was recorded on a trail cam. And if you look closely, you can even see the gray on this beard. You can make out its nose and its facial features. Right now, it's just walking through the woods, throwing trees around. Check out that gray beard. You can see pieces of it right there, but you're going to keep watching. You're going to see most of his face. There he goes. Look at his nose. I'd say this is easily easily a 8 through 9 footer. This was recorded in East Texas. This is a legit Sasquatch, you guys. Look how wide the shoulders are.
Mm-hmm.
Check them out.
Damn, that's crazy. I see him.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Check this footage out, y'all. Crypto University.
I see it like a mofo, bro. Oh God, everything I love. Then you watch it. This is wild, but I don't know. I don't know how you don't know. They literally showed his face. Like he looked like Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah.
And maybe that was
bigger. He looked bigger than Harry.
Yeah, a little bigger than Harry and the Hendersons, like, but different.
Yeah, shit.
Costume. All right. It could be because Harry and the Hendersons with the costume, but damn, I don't know.
Cap costume.
I don't say no cap. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying no cap. Y'all just hating.
I like the name of it.
Y'all just hating. So this is called the bald man.
Yeah, the white guy knows.
Yeah, the white guy. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. I don't know. Nathan, did it? Did it?
I can look like a monkey nose. But...
Yeah, it looked like it had, but it definitely was a human nose. The human nose. I don't know if it was a monkey nose, man. Y'all go back and rewatch that video, man. I think I don't know what to think, guys. I don't know. I think it's the best video that I had seen in a long time. I think that. All right, check this up.
Nights have been fucking awful. I'm gonna just update you guys really quickly. I'm in the barn house right now. I'm here alone. I'm hearing shit constantly. Last night I fucking watched like a bald man walk out of the fucking pond. I'll show you where it is. It was fucking insane. That's what I keep hearing. And I'm home alone. Hello?
Got to change your battery on your.
That's only black people.
Can you stop? Fuck out.
Would you say that, or would you try to figure it out, Kobe?
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Or to change that smoke alarm, and then I would have.
Fuck, it scared the shit out of me.
Or just left.
Here with me, like whatsoever.
I would have been
Hello?
outside, like, hey, there's a bald man in the house.
I don't know.
Call 911.
My
Yeah.
reflection's creeping me
Look,
out.
look at that reflection.
Jesus Christ.
Did you see that?
Creepy, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Y'all see that?
You guys saw that, right? I'm not bugging. Like, here's my reflection.
I'll put that up right. Did y'all see that?
That's just my hair. Okay.
Creepy.
Hold on, I need to watch
Yeah.
this. Guys, I wanted to show you the fucking pond, but please tell me you
Well,
see
she had
that.
somebody coming up from behind
Or
her.
something. It looks like the old man is coming out. I swear to fucking
Oh,
God.
you
What
see
the
that?
fuck was that?
Yes, I saw that.
Jesus, and there's a light on in the fucking goddamn garage. Fuck. This is so fucking creepy.
That house is too big. Yeah, you gotta leave.
Hmm.
Too big.
I want a house like that. That's my goal. I'm gonna get one of
Me
them.
too. I want like people in it.
Oh my God, Biggs, it's okay. It's okay. Holy shit.
Dip it.
Get that out of there.
Yeah, it's time for you to go, man.
Yeah.
Fuck, honestly.
You see that?
No, I didn't see what was that. What you just saw?
Okay, let's go. The last two
What did
nights
you
have been
see?
fucking awful. I'm gonna just
Damn, like,
update you guys
in
really
the
quickly.
hallway. I think when she turned her camera.
Wait, there was a man sitting in the.
Like when she turned around, like right. Oh yeah, I don't know. Like when she was in the garage, she like turned. There's somebody there, and then she turned back and started calling for the animal.
Oh my God! Yeah, so there was a person behind her. Yep. Show peep. As you said, I
the
saw
cat.
it
It was
immediately.
cool.
That was awesome. That house is amazing. I won't say no cap. You gonna say cap?
Yeah.
No cap. No cap on me. All right, buddy. You got
Butterfly turn spirit.
So yeah, I think that shit was real, bro. I need that house though. I'm gonna get one.
Hell yeah, that was a nice house.
Hey, Kobe, why don't we just get a house like that together?
Yeah.
That's why I said no cap. Okay.
All right, this is called Butterfly Turns Spirit.
Are you addicted? No cap. Kibbity cap. Because it's too convenient. Too convenient. But it don't. I like the effect. The effect was crazy. What's the chat saying? Chat saying cap.
No cap.
I think they were talking about the other one. Yeah.
That's probably cap.
Kobe compound. That was nice, man. We got that compound going, man.
Like 4 cars in the garage.
Man, Kobe, that's us. That's us. I don't know. Lauren would be down.
Somewhere in the country, yeah, Lauren would not want that.
Yeah, I don't know Lauren would be down, but that'd be fun. You get out in the country. She like, hey, you gotta have a wall.
Like a little drawbridge.
A little drawbridge for your brother.
Not a drawbridge, but like a bridge.
A bridge. Like we here together, but we're not here together.
You lock the door.
Guys, I'm a lot.
Every day, Kobe.
I'm a lot. All right, so I'm gonna do the next one. Let's see here. Yeah. And again, guys, thanks for keeping the chat going because that's really what kind of feeds the show. So we appreciate it. So this is called In the Name of Jesus.
What's called what?
In the Name of Jesus. I don't know why I call it that.
No.
Let's check it out. Let's see what happens. The demonic entity does not like when we talk about Jesus.
To fear you because we walk with the Lord. That is what we are here for, and that is a spectral truth that we are trying to prove. Hit full grab. Stop it now. Turn that off now. You have no power here because we walk with the Lord. You may think everything is... Dude, I think I just pissed it off. Dude, do we need to warn the guys?
Yeah. I can't call him though. My phone's dead.
Is that a threat?
Are you threatening us right now?
I don't know if it's a real body or not.
It's like it. And it's going off. I just heard that boom. I just heard that boom.
That was a threat. Dude, it does not like what we have to say. I think we're pissing this thing off. We don't have to fear you because we walk with the Lord. That is what we are here for, and that is a spectral truth that we are trying to prove.
Hold on, buddy. All right, buddy, what you think?
No cap.
You call no cap on that? That's not even a good video. No cap? All right. I'm gonna say no cap too. I don't know. I think they're using like a spirit box or a EV with a EV. Is it called? What's it called, Kobe? Electronic voice. Something.
Oh yeah, EM. Yeah, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, but you don't see a whole lot. It's basically more real. Anyway, all right, man. So
I like that. I like those. I like the little box. They talk to the radio sometimes.
Yeah, me too. Nathan White says no cap, but I will need to know more. Yeah, same. And those guys are acting real scared. Like, honestly,
they weren't too scared. They're like,
maybe not. I don't know. The one guy looks scary, the bigger dude, but I don't know. Kind of trying to think, like, say you, me, and Nathan were in a spot, right? Will we be scary like that?
I mean, I wouldn't be doing it.
You would do it in the first place. All right, man, go ahead, play it.
I'm not gonna go out somewhere and talk about some demons. No.
Yo, y'all, look at this.
What this is my security camera.
I've never seen one this good and form, y'all. What y'all
You
think?
can see me over here in the white nightgown, facing the window. What is that keeps being seen in my security camera? Does anyone know what that looks like or what that could be?
Peace,
That
love, and
keeps
light,
showing up
dude.
behind me in my security camera. This is about the third time it has shown up.
Yo, y'all, look at this.
No.
Kobe, you didn't say the name of the video though. What's the name of the video?
Sammy, yeah, I don't know what that is. What do you say? How do you say that?
Semyaza.
What is that?
Semyaza is the demon that led all the watchers to come to Earth and mate with the women and teach humans and all that. So Semyaza is the main fallen angel. It's the main thing. So in the Book of Enoch, because you're reading that, right? Book of Enoch.
Yeah,
that's Semyaza. Yeah, we are scary. We are scary, buddy. That's Semyaza. So, and I think Semyaza shows up a lot more than people think. People be thinking that Lucifer is Satan like that, but Semyaza was the person lighting due to the angle cap. Okay, I don't think so. I agree to disagree. I don't think it's Semyaza, obviously, but it was something, man. It was something. But yeah, Semyaza is him. It's him, and the fact that Kobe doesn't know about him, guys, that's how much they're keeping it a secret. Read the Book of Enoch. They're not this shit. We play around with it, but it's real out here. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna do the next one called Reincarnation. What y'all think about this? We've watched a video similar to this, but I think this was a little bit different. Kobe, tell me if I'm wrong, and it's the same dude. I have a bad memory, but check it out.
Claimed he had lived before, was murdered and buried by his neighbor over 40 years ago, and he could tell the exact location. When the police got involved, they discovered he was telling the truth. This is Ryan. When he first started speaking, he told his classmates that he had already lived on Earth before. At first, they laughed it off, but he didn't stop. He told his teachers too. The teachers became so concerned that they contacted his parents. His parents had already heard these stories before, but this time, they took them seriously. Ryan claimed that in his past life, he was a 45-year-old man who lived in a small house near the woods next to his neighbor. He worked as a woodcutter selling firewood. But one day he was murdered. His neighbor struck him in the head with an axe. Ryan remembered everything. He described the location of his home, the name of the man who killed him, and even where his body was buried. His parents, curious but skeptical, took him to the place he described, and there they found an older man still living in the same house. When they knocked on the door, he refused to answer, so they called the police. As officers questioned the man, they searched the woods where Ryan claimed his body was buried, and shockingly, they really found human remains. Next to the skeleton was an axe, still embedded in the skull. When confronted with the discovery, the man finally confessed. He had murdered his neighbor years ago, exactly as Ryan had described. Follow the channel for more stories. Cheers.
Kavanaugh. No cap? You put on no cap?
Okay, no cap.
All right. Nathan White says, wow. Yeah. What's up? I'm gonna say no cap as well. Shit. That's crazy. All right, Kobe, you got the last one, buddy?
Final video.
All right, hold on. Let me just throw Nathan White's up there real quick. Not the first time this happened. Big facts. There's another story that we showed, but it was a person that I think they was in the Middle East, though, right, Kobe?
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, guys, I lower my voice when I do the show. I don't talk like this in real life.
Just so you guys understand. All right. This one said, it's called The Entity. This one's from Nate. Appreciate you, Nate.
Oh yeah, so Nate, so Nate sends me a lot of stuff, whatever, and I had Nathan, and it's my bad, bro. I had not been able to get on Instagram a lot to watch the video, so I'm way behind, especially on your videos, man. I apologize for that, but I was able to get this one recently, and then we got some coming from next week with the videos that you send me, and I appreciate that. And anybody anybody else, just send me content. Reels are fine. I got a problem with reels because y'all reels be messing up my doggone algorithm, but Nace doesn't. Go, well, let me talk about that real quick. So I posted something on Facebook. Stop sending reels, send me new information. All right. It wasn't people like Nate. It's the people who just send me just dumb shit of people farting. I don't care. I really don't. I don't. But if you're sending me content and you're sending me stuff that goes along to what we're trying to do, like ancient civilizations, ghosts, hauntings, things that can help out the show, I appreciate it. But when you see me the stuff with the people farting on camera, that doesn't help me, and it's not funny to me. So that's, and I get irritated, guys, because I get a lot of that stuff, and I apologize, but honestly, it's not anybody who is part of this community. The people that send this to me are not the people who even interact or try to help out with what we're doing. So, I probably went on too long, but thank you, Nathan, for sending us the content. And Nathan said something real quick. He said, "Sweet Jesus breeze," and his voice is. He's silly. Well, thank you, Nathan, for the content. So, Nathan, you can send me all the wild, crazy stuff. I appreciate it. What the hell says Emily? Yeah, Emily, you send me content that has nothing to do with our show and the message about algorithm. So, please send me new information, and send me stuff that goes with the show. Because I'm not into slapstick comedy. I'm just not. I'm not. But if you're sending me new information, and you're sending it to Kobe too, and fart jokes, but a ton of ancient aliens and hauntings, I'm all for it. But stop sending me fart jokes. I'm not into it. I don't like it. So, yeah. All right, Kobe. Let's go.
All right, let's get this one going.
Let's go.
It says a girl played Ouija board with her friend at her house, and now entity is following. City lights. Street lights. People. I don't know. Me watching on the big screen. Oh. That was creepy. Hold on.
So. And the paranormal. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. She'll know what it is. I think Emily said challenge accepted.
Okay. I can see it.
Nathan said, I think you do shit hilarious. Someone was Nathan, you're not the problem. You're not the problem. Yeah, Nathan, you're definitely good. Nathan, you're not, like when when you see that stuff come up, it don't have to do with you. Honestly, it don't.
Anyway,
yeah.
I think I get where Rashad's coming from. Send me whatever you want to send me, but yeah, I would prefer like.
You're not. But now I think that was. What did we say what that is? That I don't think. I think that's. Is that Cap?
I think that's Cap.
Yeah. I think because he was too excited.
That's creepy. I want to deal with.
Yeah. I want that.
I like that. Oh.
Yeah. So guys, so you got a version. You got a late version of the show, and then you got me and little Liddy.
Do you guys like the late time? A lot of people are in here. Maybe we should do more late night.
Yeah, if you guys wanted to do the later time, that'd be cool. I'm with it because it definitely helps Kobe and I. We can do more stuff on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate the feedback and get on the Discord. We're all about that. We talk about that a lot. And then
I need to get in there too and talk more. But Yeah, link is in the bio. Share stuff in there.
Yeah. We got to get Nathan like hooked up on the Discord. Nathan, download Discord. At Discord. And you go ahead and download that.
If you click the link, it'll go do everything for you. If you click the link in the YouTube bio, it should take you everywhere. Let me
Yeah, I think Nathan will be probably the most active on there anyway, because he's definitely he's one of our pillars of the community. So we appreciate you, man. You're here every time, and then you give great content. So none of that stuff is about you, buddy. We appreciate you, man. And then we got to get together to do the one-on-one at some point. So. So Nathan,
I can show you how to.
Anyway, so thank you, gentlemen, for what you do. I appreciate you and your team and content. I will hit you up. We will get some already. And we haven't even been doing this for a year yet, so
yeah, very new, and I've been kind of busy.
As we all have, and I hadn't slept in 1,000 years. But Kobe, I just got this new bed. And I told you about that. I was getting it, whatever. And Kobe, I got to sleep. It felt amazing. The sleep in this bed is like no other bed that I've ever slept in, ever, except for like maybe my mom and dad's bed, the one they got. But bro, I am super rested. Like I'm lit, but I'm super rested. So
yeah, it's good. I'm glad you're rested on like.
Yeah. I can't wait till you come and try it out, man. Because when you try it out, you're gonna be like, all right, I'm up next. It's super dope.
Right. I'm gonna see if I can show something real quick.
Oh, you can throw.
So if you go, it's still live, obviously. After this live, if you go in the description, that and that is Discord. Over here, log in, do all that stuff. Put your name, whatever.
So y'all see that? He just kind of walking through
all that stuff, right? All the stuff, verify you're real. And boom. So yeah.
Somebody's birthday.
Yeah, join the Discord, y'all. Join the Discord. Get me to talk on this.
Yeah, that way we just kind of keep the thing going all for the whole week and then up to this, because we really just want to talk about the things that you guys want to talk about. If the things that we talk about bore you, let us know. Yeah, Discord this week. I know you got a lot of stuff going on, man. So, but Discord is new to me, and you and I are from the same generation, so it's new to me. That's a young Kobe thing, and but I'm glad that he keeps me up on game and keeps me relevant. So, but yeah, we appreciate everybody joining again, getting the Discord. Emily, we saw Nathan White in the comments. We saw Randall Rickford was here for a little bit. So obviously, I mentioned Emily, right? I mentioned Emily. And anybody else who was here, kind of silent viewers and all that, we appreciate it. And then Kobe, you want to our closing?
Yeah. We appreciate y'all to the middle letters. Be safe, take care of yourself, and don't whistle.
And do not, whatever you do, whistle in the woods. Peace. We out of here.
Let us know what you think if you should change the time. So that'd be great.
For real. Yeah. Again, put that in there. That's what you want to change on. Love you guys.
All right.
Peace.
Giants.
People who came from the sky.
Yeah.